welcome back to the Randy and Nick show. I have yet again just a different angle of the Sony, but Nick's Sony has a very different environment. What's up, dude?
Ooh, hi Randy. Yeah, we got a completely different setup for me. Like literally everything has changed except for the gear that we're running it on. But that doesn't mean I can't hold my Starship. And look at a Starship. Ah!
That's amazing. I know it's a little bit blown out, but I see it. And from the offset, anybody listening or watching or anything with this, Nick's Instagram and Twitter, but Instagram is filled with this stuff, so you can see what he's working with. This was something that was premeditated. I think we talked about it even on our last show, and Lord knows we've been spending all week since Monday trying to make this work where we can do this.
Yeah. The trip down here is definitely premeditated, but doing this show together was top of my priority list. We always, every time we change environments, we always try to, after something big happens in our lives, creative-wise, we always try to do one of these shows. But for scheduling purposes, I couldn't do it yesterday, and Randy couldn't do it the day before, so we're doing it today. But I don't think that's a bad thing, because I've had plenty of time to think about what I need to say, and we got plenty of things to talk about here. So, Randy, I changed literally everything about my life over the past week, and I couldn't be happier.
I bet you were very nervous leading up to the night of, and you were very nervous the day of, but then all those nerves quickly got tamed once you got there, and you were like, oh, I was supposed to be here. Like, why did I not come sooner?
Yes.
You changed your whole life. I guess my first question, my real question, is: Is this gonna last longer than 2 weeks or a week?
I don't know. If you had asked me that question day before yesterday, Tuesday, I probably would have said I'm headed home now. But it has its ups and downs. So basically, for those of you not in the loop, I'm living out of my car. I'm car lifing it, SUV lifing it, whatever you want to call it. Not quite a van down by the river, but it's an SUV down by the ocean. So kind of close.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. That's good. That's good.
Scott said that I am the bougiest hobo on earth. Because I got my AirPods Pro and my, MacBook Pro and all of my bougie things. My Amex Platinum, but I'm a hobo. Yeah.
Latest iPhone.
Yep.
Oh
yep.
my God.
I'm the bougiest hobo around. So anyway, that kind of is a good way to describe what I've been doing. Basically, my goal was to be very uncomfortable for a week and figure out what my boundaries were, as far as what I could take and what I couldn't, and then take that under advisement as I make future plans, I guess. So we are on Thursday, which is day 5.
You left Monday?
So I left my house on Saturday morning. Sorry,
Saturday.
their loudspeakers are talking about the lightning strikes. So they had to evacuate the whole plant here because they had lightning strikes about an hour ago, and they just gave the all clear. Kind of cool.
Nice.
Anywho, so I left on Saturday, and then I spent a day with my friend Scott on Sunday, and then I drove down here on Sunday as well. So Sunday to Thursday, about 5 days or so, give or take a couple hours. And yeah, it's definitely not as idealized as I expected, but it's way more fun than I expected, which is kind of cool.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm living in a van down by the river, or an SUV down by the ocean. I was originally planning on they call it boondocking, where you just kind of camp in your car or whatever, real low profile, at a Walmart. But that Walmart is about 45 minutes away from Starbase, and I kind of knew that was going to be a long drive, like 90 minutes a day, basically, of commuting. And so I was like, yeah, that's going to be a bit of a drive, but we'll figure it out. But when I got down here, the state beach, Boca Chica Beach, is literally right like 1,000 feet away from the launch facility, and they allow you to park for free there overnight, beach camping.
Nice.
And so
Nice.
I now have the best view on planet Earth. I mean, perhaps maybe there are a few better ones, but this is probably my favorite part. I get to wake up and go to sleep to that, Randy. I'm texting Randy a couple pictures, but basically out of the back window I can see the Starbase, or the front window I can see the Starbase launch complex, and at the back window about 50 feet away is the ocean. And so it's very tranquil, very peaceful, and very nice. So I'm really loving that part.
Nice.
But because of that, there's a lot of modern conveniences that I've had to go without. Yeah.
Like what? What's your trade-off then?
Oh, basically every modern convenience. Air conditioning. The biggest issue are the bugs, honestly. There's like bazillions of mosquitoes around here, and I'm not a guy who's been in the deep south for very long out of my life, especially during the summertime. So the idea of having
great time,
literally millions of bugs swarming. Like when I pulled in here the first night, there were like 100 mosquitoes just swarming my headlights, and I was just like, oh boy, this is not going to be good. And
this is going to kill me.
Exactly. Just walking outside during dawn and dusk, the mosquitoes swarm your head, similar to like how all those cartoons portray like a swarm of bees killing off the bad guy. They just like swarm around your face and try to kill you, basically. So because of that, I got like more mosquito bites than I've ever had in my entire life, just everywhere. But yeah, so it's been different, but it's good.
Okay, the bugs or the AC,
in the bathroom.
Modern convenience of trading off. That seems to be, since that was the one you pointed out. Is that the worst thing? Sleeping in your car is not the worst thing. You're pretty used to it.
I love sleeping in my car. So I figured out a solution for keeping the bugs out of my car but allowing a breeze in. I got some mosquito netting that I put up on my windows at night and roll my windows down, so that's real comfortable. Get to hear the ocean, like,
oh, I bet you fall asleep so quick to that.
Feet away. I know, it's just so nice. And then so the launch pad here is like under 24/7 construction, so there's always stuff going on down here, so you do hear that too. But that's just kind of cool in my opinion. Like, and I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, so I can sleep to just about anything whenever I need to. Yeah, so sleeping in the car is not a problem at all for me. I was kind of surprised because I thought that was going to be the biggest problem, just being uncomfortable in the car at night. But I've had 4 good nights and 1 not so good night, which we can get to later. But yeah, overall the car beach camping experience has been pretty positive.
Okay, so before we get to that negative one, then your hygiene situation, how does that work out for you?
That is probably the number one question that I get asked. How do I deal with the hygiene stuff? As far as bathrooms are concerned, there are no public bathrooms at Starbase yet. So they don't have any facilities, which means you got to plan out your bathrooms. The nearest toilet is about 20 minutes away down the highway. So round trip, that's about 45 minutes. But that's at some more than not sketch restaurants. So if you want to go to like a Starbucks or any kind of chain type of restaurant, those are a little bit further out. The nearest Starbucks actually is next to that Walmart, about 45 minutes away. So everything's real spread out here. And so yeah, that's definitely one thing you gotta plan out while you're here. Bathroom situation's atrocious. The other hygiene stuff, I can brush my teeth and all that and do my hair and stuff in the car. That's no problem. But taking a shower has been the big problem on Monday. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to take a swim in the ocean and see if I like that, because it was like real hot in the day and stuff. Would not recommend that if you don't have a shower to rinse off after, because I had sand and crevices of my body I didn't know existed, and I had no way of getting it out. So that was extremely uncomfortable.
I will tell you from experience, at least from my side, and every San Diegan, rookie mistake. I wish you would have told me before you did that, because that is a rookie mistake. Every San Diegan knows that one all too well.
I'm pretty sure I am also San Diegan, so I'm not sure how that didn't get passed along to me.
I think you left too soon.
I did. I was 3 months old. Yeah, so that was a no-go, and that made for a very miserable Monday night and a very miserable Tuesday. And so finally, Tuesday afternoon, I was just like, it was 107 degrees, and I was just dying. And I was like, all right, I need to go home or fix something about this. So I took a shower at a truck stop, and it was a lot better than I expected. So we'll leave that there.
How did you get a shower in at a truck stop?
So there's a truck stop, fairly convenient. I mean, all things considered, it's only about 25 minutes away or so it's fairly close. And they offer, one-time purchase shower type things, and so those are fairly affordable and don't, it's pretty comfortable. I was expecting gang shower situation or whatever, but they had a nicely cleaned, private shower that was nice and spacious and good water pressure. I'm a stickler for water pressure, so. Yeah.
So no gyms, nice. no YMCA's, nothing like that.
Yeah. So the gyms are next to that Starbucks in Walmart, about 45 minutes away, and so it's kind of this whole debate. Since I'm sleeping down here, since I'm working down here, I have enough food, so mostly I'm eating down here too. Really, there's no reason to go all the way out there, and drive all the way back, because it's 90 minutes of gas and time and driving. Yeah. So. I haven't, but if I stay here longer than, a couple of weeks, I'll probably figure out something more permanent than truck stop showers. But believe me, I was real scared going to the truck stop shower, but it was way better than I expected. So I was quite happy with that.
Making these memories I told you about. You're going to learn all this stuff.
I know. Randy told me
find out things about yourself, about your comfort levels and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I will give you a deployment trick that we used. I think I've talked about it, and if you have accessibility, it's a good placeholder. It shouldn't be a 100% substitute, but this is coming from a guy who used it for months out and in, so I guess it was a substitute. Baby wipes. Baby wipes was my shower. I used baby wipes on everything.
Okay.
Baby wipes is what you use when you initially clean a newborn before you can give them water and so bathe them as well. You wipe them down with baby wipes. It's the same. It's effectively the same thing. I got a lot of baby wipes and I just wipe. Obviously the sweaty parts, but I would do my face, everything.
Okay.
We would shave our heads down, so washing your hair wasn't a thing. But all that considering, though, that was a good placeholder. That's
good to know.
It's the next best thing next to clean water. Clean water, not ocean water.
Ocean water, yeah, no, would not
water.
Not recommend.
However, ocean water is going to keep you looking young. The salt in the water is going to preserve your skin. So,
tell that to mosquitoes. I think they've been chewing up my skin. So,
that's because you might be tasting. You're like, ooh, you're fresh meat.
I know.
All right, so. What happened with this bad night then?
Oh yeah, so the bad night.
What day was this?
That was Monday night, Tuesday morning. I'd been there one night before on the beach, and I was like, okay, this is cool. There was since it was the weekend, there were a few people camping, but we were, it's a 5 miles in one direction and 2 miles in the other direction, so it's a huge beach. There's literally one road that goes to it, and it's the road that Starbase is on. And so it's extremely isolated, super quiet, and it's literally on the border with Mexico. The south part of the beach is the north part of Mexico, so it's really, really quiet area. And so I felt very comfortable the first night. It was great, wonderful. There's other people, but there weren't any specific signs that said you could park there at night. It just didn't say no overnight parking. Other people were camping overnight, and also a few websites that I'd seen said that people enjoyed camping over there overnight. And so I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna try this, but wasn't 100% sure. And so Spacex had a static fire on Monday, and so they cleared out the entire beach, they cleared out the whole road all day basically, and static fire went well, and they let people back in at about 10 o'clock or so at night. And I was headed back to the beach, and about 11 o'clock or so, got all my work done for the evening, and I was settling down. I was literally the only person on the entire beach. And I was like, score! This is going to be so nice. Just me, the ocean, the full moon, the mosquitoes. But it was just me on this 7-mile-long beach in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, this is going to be very nice.
Yeah.
I get all nestled into bed, close my eyes, curl up in my blanket, and I'm all excited to go to sleep. And like 3 minutes later, a mariachi band pulls up next to me. And not a literally mariachi band, but someone was having a huge like birthday party or something. And they had the boombox going, and they decided to park like 20 feet away from my car. And I was just like, really? You have like miles in each direction here. You got to park next to me? Okay, whatever. I'm going to ignore you and go to sleep because I'm tired. And so I did. And then at about 2:30 in the morning, I woke up to see this really intense, really white, like LED light shining into my car. And I was like, oh boy, what's going on here? This can't be good. It's, ice or something. Like what's going on here? And so I like get up and look out my window, and it's a guy on an ATV. And he said, hey, I'm Spacex Security, and I just wanted to let you know that we're going to do a lot of venting tonight because of the test, and so it's going to be really loud. If you want to move, up a little north or a little south, it'll be quieter for you. And I was like, oh, thanks for letting me know. Good night. So it was nice to see that, he cared, that they knew that I was there, and that they cared to let me know that they're going to be making a lot of ruckus. And I didn't hear the ruckus because I was fast asleep. And so, anyway, it was a little disturbing, but whatever. And so I went back to sleep. And then like 30 minutes later at 3 o'clock, I wake up, and there's, instead of one really bright white LED, there was two like really bright incandescent kind of yellowy lights shining into my car. I'm like, what is going on? I just talked to the Spacex security guy. What is going on here? And so I sit up and I look out my window, and there are two cop cars with their lights that they can pointed at my car. And I was like, oh boy, am I like not supposed to be camping here? I don't know. Oh boy, yeah. Hopefully I don't get arrested. Jeez, what's going on here? And so I kind of started moving around, and they saw that I was moving. And so one of the cops got out and walked over to my window, and I was like, hey, do I need to move or something? And he's like, oh no, you're good. Did you call us? And I was like, no. He's like, oh, we got a call about a white vehicle needing a jump here on the beach. And I look up 5 miles in one direction, there's nobody. I look 2 miles in the other direction, there's nobody. And I'm the only white car here. And I'm like, well, I didn't call you. Sorry. So anyway, that was funny. And so he was like, all right, well, have a good evening. I was like, well, thank you. So it's good to know.
Maybe the SpaceX security thought, it's like, oh, he can't start his car, I'm going to help him out. Maybe he was going above and beyond trying to help you. And he's like, hey, I got this white vehicle on the beach. I told him he's got, it's going to get really loud and he should move, and the car's still there. I don't think he can start his car. He might be stuck. You guys can send somebody down here?
He definitely knew I was camping out there. There's no...
Do they know you by first name yet?
No, but there's tons of security guards, so I wouldn't say I know any of them yet, but there's kind of a cool, like, unspoken rule here. It's a highway, right? So it's a 2-lane highway, and on one side of it, like literally on the other side of that black barrier, they're building, all the Starship stuff. And directly behind me, there's about a 400-foot gap in that black barrier. And so you can look in, take pictures, do video, all that stuff. And as long as you stay on this side of the road, they don't really care. And they just kind of ignore you, which is kind of nice, because as a photographer, videoing and taking pictures of people, I always feel a little awkward, like I'm spying on them or whatever. But they just don't really care as long as you don't go on the other side of the road. So it's like, cool. And everyone's real friendly around here, driving up and down, walking up down the side of the road. We all do the little neighborly wave. So it's kind of cool. There's tons of
all right. So now that since we got all the important stuff of your living situation out of the way, how's the work?
Best work ever. I'm having so much fun.
It looks like it. I have so much fun watching your stuff. Huh?
What specifically are you talking about?
Dude, everything you're posting to your main channel, I don't watch every single Today at Starbase. I've caught a few, but as we were talking about on the offset of starting this, our schedules have been off because I've been really busy this week as is.
Yep.
So I have not been able to watch everything, but I might watch it tomorrow night. Really quickly, I'm leaving.
Yep.
I'm leaving. Probably right after we finish the podcast. I got a hard stop. I'll have to go, because I'm driving out to Kentucky and I'll be gone for the weekend. Yeah. So, all this week has been leading up to heading out to Kentucky. So,
cool. What are you doing up there?
Burying my grandmother. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. You're like, woo, awesome. What are you doing out there? Saying goodbye to family member. I mean, yeah. Anyway, so her mom, my great grandmother, is buried out there. She's from Kentucky. I've never been to Kentucky, so this is my way of, like, I was talking with my dad and my uncle and all that. Then because my uncle's gonna go out there. So some of my immediate family will be going there, and they're all talking about, like, yeah, come learn about the history, the roots and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go out in literally the middle of nowhere. I pulled it up. It's so middle of nowhere. I'm not bringing the Tesla because I won't have a means for anything. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been all planning of things to get situated here at the house. But I'll be driving out tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to catch the rest of your Today at Starbase just to see updates and stuff like that. But just the time lapse alone has been so visually appealing to see. Every time you're sharing anything that has to do with the audio stuff of it is so cool too, and the whole thing, just the environment, the atmosphere, all of it looks so much fun, and then the photos are so cool to look at and just see. It's in the immediacy of it. It looks boring because it's the pre to anything big. But when we look back at it, Nick was there when they were still have that black fence up. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be. It's cool knowing how it's going to change very quickly. Very soon, and your excitement is like rolling off onto, at least onto me. I get excited every time I posting something too. So it looks like a lot of fun.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm having a legit blast here. It's tons of fun. What's so impressive is that with most construction sites or whatever, this sounds like, and kind of on the surface looks like your regular, building construction site. But most of the time when you look at your regular construction site, there's always like one or two guys out of every group of, 6 workers or whatever, who are just leaning on their shovel, kind of not doing anything, or like, getting a drink or whatever. It's not bad, it's hot out there, I get it. But like everyone here, like literally everyone, is walking to something or doing something or driving something, or like nobody's just standing around. And this is a 24/7 operation, and they have like 3 shifts of people. They keep it just keeps moving. It never stops. It's just so impressive to see how much energy and time and speed is happening down here. No one's sitting around picking their nose except for me. And it's just so much fun to watch that. And because of that, there's just so much to capture. Like, they could be trucking in a new part 1 minute, and you turn around and they're stacking something in the other thing with a crane, and then you turn around again and they're, checking out a Raptor engine or, whatever. There's just so much going on down here that it's almost hard to focus in on. I thought that when I got down here, I would have, a good idea of what's going on. Mm-hmm. I don't. I can see what's happening at my eyeballs, but like there's a whole nother production facility 2 miles that direction that has all of the and we're back. Sorry about that, guys. my iPhone decided that it was too hot, which it is. It's 110 degrees. At least that's the high today. So I see why.
It's very hot.
And I was sweating in the car. My iPhone was sweating too, trying to run a hotspot and make sure Randy could see me and all this stuff. So it had to, cool down. So we ran the AC for a second, and now it's better. Thanks for waiting, guys. Although it didn't take any time for you. We were talking about how busy everything is down here, right?
Yep.
Yes. I think I kind of said everything I wanted to say there. I thought that once I got down here, I'd kind of get a good sense for what's going on and kind of be up to snuff on everything that's going on, but I couldn't have been further from incorrect on that one. It's just, there's always something new. Every minute of the day, I'd say there's a new semi-truck rolling down that highway about every minute delivering something, whether it's a load of dirt, load of cement, some new fancy parts, Raptor engines. It just keeps coming.
Do you have other photographers or journalists or whatever down there?
Yeah. So
you got one going on behind you right now?
I probably do. Do you see him?
Yeah. That's why I'm asking. Like, are you the only one who's documenting, or are other people documenting as well?
So I'm not. This is an original idea to just come down here. There's a team of really good people who provide really good regular space content for the rest of the community to kind of reuse. One lady, she's a local who lives down here. Her name's Mary. She goes by Boca Chica Gal on Twitter, but it's her full-time job now to take pictures and videos all day, every day of everything going on down here, and she shares it with everyone online. And she's super, like, she just turns out the content like nobody's business. It's impressive. But yeah, so she's definitely always here. So, she's kind of the default. There aren't many people around. So we're in a lull right now. I should back up. We're in a lull. There isn't any huge, launches or anything going on. So there aren't many people, down here participating, which is fine because I kind of like the smaller feeling. And so right now it's me, Mary, that guy who you're seeing who does some live streams. His name is Paul. He has a YouTube channel. And then there was another guy who was down here from Florida, a part of the NASA spaceflight stuff, giving Mary a day off today. But anyway, so it's pretty much just me, that guy that you see, and then Mary or some of the other NASA spaceflight people. But there are tons of tourists. I'd say probably every afternoon there's at least 2 or 3 dozen tourists that stop by. And I myself am a tourist technically, so
You're a tourist who's working.
I'm a employed tourist who's also unemployed. Yeah. So yep, it's not just me, but there's just so much to see that it doesn't really feel like I'm stepping in anyone's toes, just because like you can't have enough cameras to capture everything that's going on down here. Just too much. So it's kind of cool.
Interesting. Wow. All right, so then I guess I'm going to revisit the first question I asked. Are you staying longer than 2 weeks? It looks like.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It could. I think I just need to feel a little bit more confident that there's like a long-term, kind of monetization / like job path for this. It's definitely doable. I've spent, a significant amount of time working on this and planning this trip and stuff, and I'm very excited with the growth that I've seen so far, and I know I'm transitioning audiences basically, right? So I took the I Can't Swim Any YouTube channel, which got monetized via the Cube, which means that most of the subscribers there could care less about space. And so when I just start posting nothing but space videos, yeah, I'm not expecting to have all of my subscribers watch that video. But it's the idea of building a kind of fresh audience just with that channel. The reason why I did that is because it's monetized, and that's important to be monetized here. Rather have that happen sooner than later. As far as the kind of picture stuff and whatnot, I don't know. I'm living it day by day, so I think at some point possibly in the next 2 weeks, I'll probably be like, okay, I want to go home and, have a shower in my own shower and sleep in my own bed.
So but, are you still gunning for the 2 week mark at least?
Well, so it's the 1 week mark is my absolute minimum, but I thought 2 weeks would probably be about right. So I have full confidence that I'll make the 1 week minimum, and I'm fairly confident that I'll be around for the 2 weeks here, just based on what's happened the past 5 days here. I'm not 100% sure if I want to do it like long term, just because like there's no infrastructure out here for me, like there's no bathrooms, it's car camping, and I don't know if I want to live down by the river for the rest of my life. It sounds fun until you actually do it, and then I don't know. We'll see. I struggle to give you a straight answer there, Randy, because I just legitimately don't know.
That's fair.
It all depends. I'm enjoying it now, but the moment it's not enjoyable, you betcha I'm going to be driving home. And the thing that was stopping me on Monday or whatever, after I got sand everywhere and I was miserable and it was hot, the thing that stopped me from just driving home is like, it's a 2-day drive back. Like, do I really want to drive 2 days because I'm uncomfortable right now? No. So, I don't know. We'll see.
I encourage you, if you're healthy and able, I encourage you to hit the 2 week mark.
Okay.
Have less of a regret, because that's what you said in your mind. Mm-hmm. It sucks right now, or the things that do suck right now, and they're not going to suck 2 weeks from now or a month from now. And as time goes on, because it's linear and it will go forward, it sucks less and less the more you look back at it.
Yeah.
But what's not going to suck less is you like, man, I can't believe I left so soon.
Yeah.
That is a thing that you're going to be like, man, well, I did what I could, but I could have roughed it. We always forget how much something sucks as time goes forward, because you'll have sucky days, then you have good days, and the suck will pass. So you're confident you're going to make the first week. I'm glad to hear that. I encourage you to try to meet the 2 week just to see, just so you can say you did, because that's what you said out loud to yourself, and when you said it out loud to me, that meant that you made it real for you. So I encourage you to push yourself that way. You were realistic with your timeline. You didn't say 2 months. You didn't say for the rest of the year. You said at least 2 weeks. And you said very confidently out loud, I packed up my life and I left. The least you could do is meet your minimum. Yeah. And give yourself that. Yep. Because how's Nick with the cube going to behave then? At least prove to yourself now, so you can think, so future self can think Nick today. He's like, hey, he endured 2 weeks of this. I can oversee the construction of my perfect home.
One of these days, we'll have to go all over the plans for the perfect home.
Perfect home.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Randy. This is all just very new to me, I've never been an outdoorsy type of person. But when a goal is worth pursuing, you have to drop everything and pursue it. If you find that, like, Starship is my goal, I want to capture everything about this. I want to know what's going on down here. I want to be part of the community. I want to show people what I'm seeing, because what I'm seeing is really, really cool. And that goal is enough to make me want to drop everything else and pursue that. It's not something that's fun, I guess, but it's worth it, if that makes sense.
I get it. Yeah, absolutely. You're thinking big picture here.
Yeah.
And you're good with thinking big picture. Little picture is you're uncomfortable with sand in spots you didn't know you had, and you're uncomfortable with the shower and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's little picture stuff.
Yep.
That will pass. That's going to pass. You're the most expensive hobo right now. You have the means to get...
The bougie hobo.
You're the bougie hobo that can get any hotel you want. You can get on any plane right now if you wanted to. You can literally go anywhere. This is a cognitive choice that you made, because you're chasing something that's bigger than you. Remember that, and it's going to take you a lot further. And you'll hit your 2 weeks just fine. And then you're going to go home. You're going to recharge. You're going to regroup. You're going to assess, because this was a trial run to see how this would work. And then you're going to see all the stuff that still inspires you about it. And you're going to plan for trip 2. And trip 2 is going to be better than trip 1. You're going to have more means. You're going to have right accommodations this time. You're going to, each time you do this trip, it just gets better. You're going to be more prepared.
100% agree with that. I knew going into this was the worst it could ever be, you know?
Yes.
I was coming down here with no plans for lodging other than a Walmart parking lot, and didn't know anybody down here. And I still wouldn't say I know a ton of people down here, but it's just there aren't many people down here.
Mary.
Yeah, and Mary and Paul and Steve and stuff, but like, yeah, that's fine. But you know, I feel very isolated, I guess. You know, it's not my regular life, and that's why I came down here. You know, I don't have my friend that I go see. I don't have, you know, my usual restaurants or whatever. And that uncomfortability was very purposeful. And I knew that this was going to be as bad as it can get. It can only get better. You know, I'm gonna figure out things that either will make car camping way better, or I'm gonna figure out ways to, you know, get an apartment or a mobile home or something for real cheap, or whatever. You know, I know that it's only gonna get better from here, and it's just so exciting to just be here.
You're camping for 2 weeks. People camp like this all the time out in the mountains or the desert and stuff like that. People do summer camps all the time, and that's what you're doing. You're camping. You're not homeless. Your mailing address is still very much active and accessible and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you are taking yourself out of your element on purpose, and you're going to find a certain enlightenment about it. You're going to be like, okay, you're learning things about yourself. There are people who, as you even you alluded to it, there are people who have it way worse than you, and they're getting by just fine. And I'm not saying as homeless people. I'm saying as doing job. Imagine people who have to like chase tornadoes for a living. You know what I mean? Like they gotta live out their car too, and they're just doing their thing. Yeah. So it's all in relevance to something. Right now, it's trial runs, seeing what you're working with, and you're gonna have knowledge to make you well prepared, while also working. You're down there with a purpose, getting stuff done, being very successful with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now. Like,
good.
Every morning I get to wake up and look at rolling again. Sorry about that, guys. The camera died. So first it was the phone, then it's the camera. It's 110 degrees right now. That's the issue. So when we do the tech and EV podcasts, I will be recording not from Starbase, unfortunately, just because I can't deal with the temperature.
Which means the Randy and Nick Show got an exclusive being on location. Woo!
Definitely. Always the Randy and Nick Show gets all of the exclusive stuff. Woo! Because
speaking of exclusives, I started teasing something effective today.
I wanted to ask you about this, Randy, because, you know, this is the Randy and Nick Show, the peek behind the curtain. What is the master plan here?
Okay. All I will tell you is the category, but I can't tell you what's happening or where it's going.
Okay.
It's music related.
I guessed that, Randy, but thank you.
It's hard for I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful what I slip up. Are you gonna post this today?
Probably sooner than later. So yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
When do we have to look forward to?
Here's the exclusive. I see this guy behind you taking photos right behind your car. On the other side. Look, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here's the exclusive. You're going to post it today. Anybody who goes out of the way to watch this is the exclusive. It's a series of photos I'm going to be posting every single day that's leading up to the reveal.
Ooh. So the first one is your...
This is intentional. This is intentional. And tomorrow, the exclusive is I'm going to post something tomorrow, and tomorrow you'll understand why it's intentional.
Okay.
So it's all, I'm building up Prehype because it's showtime to start for music to finally start being. I don't want to say this because I'm paranoid that I don't want to give it away, but I will say
don't give it away.
No. It's something else I'm about to say, but I will say this: because you pre-ordered something.
Oh.
Okay. Because you pre-ordered something, I don't want to say it prematurely. I'll explain in a couple days when it's okay to.
Yep.
Because you pre-ordered something, it's go time to lead up to the hype of said thing.
Ooh.
And yeah, I mean things have been submitted so long ago. 6 weeks is a long time. Learning about Bliss being posted in little over 24 hours, 26 hours or something like that. Learning about Bliss being pushed that quickly has taught me that I could put music out very quickly if I wanted to. However,
is that because you're using a new distributor?
No. I think what happened was, I have a theory. I have a couple theories. First one, it's an instrumental, so they don't have to vet lyrics and screen it and stuff like that. So they don't have to worry about pushing that stuff out. Secondly, I'm not monetizing the song Bliss right now, so it's less work they have to do on the back end. And thirdly, I think because I've been with this distribution service for so long and they got enough of my money, I don't think I'm a high risk anymore. I have nothing to back up that last one, but I think I'm not a high risk candidate about rushing.
Yeah, pirating. Yeah.
So kind of like how we were talking about YouTube at one point off this show, but we were talking about screening, and at one point they don't make you wait 20 minutes anymore, and it's a word of honor type of thing. I think I have that equivalent for uploading songs. But with that being said, I'm still gonna upload weeks in advance. But I think 6 weeks was not too long in the sense that I'm waiting. I'm not used to being done so long ago, and it's like, come on, you know what I mean? It's like I'm excited too. It's not that I'm just excited. Like I'm excited with you guys about everything because it's like I stopped listening to the whole song, and it's like I get to hear it with fresh ears, and I don't want to go too long between releases because then, as an artist, you always be like, I could do that better. I could do that better, and I have to learn to let go. And immediately, I'm thinking about, oh man, I could do this better with the song, and it's done.
But Randy, you're the guy who wrote the song "Holding On." How could you let go?
I'm trying to. I have to let you go. Funny enough, I think I'm going to convert that song over to my main page as well, and just convert it to a featuring Derek for his parts of stuff like that and contributions. I haven't figured that stuff out yet. There's a lot of back end business stuff I need to figure out with legal stuff, because it is involving obtaining licenses and stuff like that. There's a big legal situation that's going on, and nothing that's like in disputes. Like, for example, if I'm trying to take Holding On and bring it over to me, it's not a legal dispute between me and Derek or keeping it on Time After Ashes. It's legal in the sense of licensings and stuff like that. There's a lot of legalities involved in all that stuff. So I am trying to find the right way to make this work. If I can make it work, if I can converge everything and take the best songs I know that I've worked on and bring them to my artist page, I'd rather do that. And stuff that was more collaborative, that was me, Emilio, and Derek, or me or somebody else, stays on Time After Ashes, then that's fine too. But things like Holding On, that was very much more me than anybody else. Twilight is coming over because that was me more than that. I wrote it with Derek, so Derek would still get writer's credit, but I did most of the legwork. Halo is one that's all me, so I'm bringing that over. So those ones are easy, but stuff like Holding On, and there's a few other songs from my Time After Ashes catalog that I want to bring over, but there might be a legality issue with that because when I was using a different distributor, they are very much full effect about copyright. and I get claimed on my own songs because my artist channel is in Time After Ashes. So I get flagged on my own music. I'm like, I wrote this song, and they're like, no, you can't use it. You can't. So when I did the live EP, when I recorded my live show, that had Time After Ashes, and I showcased it on the Randy Vasquez channel, and I got flagged and claimed because it's like, you're using Time After Ashes, and I am Time After Ashes. So this is where there's that problem that I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. Huh. That's really frustrating, but you know, I know you'll do well. It doesn't matter where it is. People are gonna listen to it anyway because it's amazing music.
I hope that Bliss is an indicator of my growth.
Okay.
And what I mean by that specifically is Bliss. When I started working on it, I did it on the spot, but I did the Will I song also on the spot, and that became the most popular song. It blew up on YouTube, which then had an immediate effect of blowing up. Surprisingly, on the analytics, it blew up the biggest in Germany.
Weird.
Yeah. I seem to have a lot of German fans. So, Eva, I see you.
I was gonna say, I think I know one of them.
I know one of them. I don't know if she's the biggest. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if she's the biggest fan or not, and that's fine because it's not about that. But like genuine, like 1,000 streams and stuff like that coming from Germany alone tells me that like they have an interest in it. So that Will I song is popular, and it became my most popular one in the catalog. And right below it is the Nick and Sweeney song, which is just a fun song. So those two were like the contenders, and I kind of wrote them to be like that. Bliss, when I went back, when I realized that, okay, I'm going to put it on streaming, and I went to go rework it and do things with the left and right channel and stuff like that, I did Bliss intentionally to try to finally one-up the Will I song. Because it's really hard to beat that song sonically. That's a very good song. It has very powerful emotions tied to it. And I think Bliss can beat that. And on the first day, it almost did.
Wow.
So if that's an indicator,
just the first day.
I'm hoping my future songs will also have that same impact. I hate revealing motive, or I hate revealing intent with my lyrical content. People, I had 3 different people tell me they had a different, like they told me, all 3 different people told me a different takeaway they got from the song Twilight. And they were like, I thought it was about this. I thought it was about that. I thought about that. And I didn't tell them what it is.
Yeah. And that's kind of the joy of music. It's very interpretive.
Yes. Holding On is another one where they're thinking like, they're trying to figure out where my brain is at. And I'm like, I don't want to tell you. When I did Halo, that was the only exception to the rule, was Halo. But are you good?
I'm good. Like, all of the photographer people are right next to me, pointed at something behind me, all 2 of them. So I'm trying to figure out what is going on back there that's so exciting. But it looks like they just stacked some columns. So
because it's Nick working and they want to get.
It's not. I'm not. I don't care that they're in the way.
That's funny.
Cool. Whatever. But I'm just like, what am I missing out on? Is there something they just stacked some columns, it looks like. So exciting stuff, but not worth stopping the show.
We're almost done with this show anyway.
I know. Sadness. We burned another, I was going to say hour, but I have no idea because things have stopped recording a few times. I have no idea what time we're at.
I do. I've been tracking.
Okay.
We're almost about to hit an hour.
Okay.
But yeah, I with the exception of Halo, I don't like giving the intent of the story of the song, and that's because I don't want to take away somebody's connection to it. With that, I would like to steer people in a direction of like, this is where I don't want to tell someone, no, I'm not going to tell you what it meant to me. If someone asks me, I will tell them, but I don't want to rob them of that experience then. Especially when I found how 3 different people took away 3 different meanings of the song Twilight. I was like, ooh, that's cool. That's cool. And I was like, then that's what it means, because that's what it means to you. And I won't tell people Twilight's purpose. So this new song that I'm hyping up now, I don't want to take away its meaning, but you and I have talked about it, and it does matter to me in the sense that like it's relatable lyrically to people who are doing content, people who have to put themselves out into the open, and you have to find this balance. It's about criticisms and stuff too, in a way that like people always want something to change, and the whole thing's weird. The whole thing is just weird, you know. And I did write it around that, and I tried to make the lyrics still loosely enough where that's not the only takeaway. I don't want to be like, this is what it's like being a content creator in 2021. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. So it's not written that way, but the motives are there. Kind of like feeling almost like claustrophobic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
being shut in by who you made yourself.
Yeah, and then you do something that I almost try to lead the song to conclude, and you break out of your mold to go do something new. And I'm like, this single that's about to come out is the precursor to what you're doing now, in the sense that you're the sequel to my song.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I know exactly what you're talking about, and I totally understand that. And everyone watching this, all 3 of you, Jay, Grant, and Nathan, thanks so much for listening. But yeah, you'll have to wait and hear what this song is. It's pretty good.
Well, as Nick was about to compliment me on how great my artistic skills are, everything just shut off, his Sony and his phone and everything. So needless to say, I don't get to hear all the great sweet nothings he was going to say about him being the sequel to my song. But also what you guys don't see, and because he can't defend himself, I can chime in here. He was going to give me full rights to all his channels, so that way I can take over it and run it from the back end, and then he could just go be the ground reporter. So this is effectively my show now. This is now the Randy Show. I own Sweeney Live. I have the Nick and Sweeney main channel, and even the one he hasn't revealed out loud to people yet, I own that one too. So with that being said, guys, this has been a very different episode, clearly. And even though we've been recording for over an hour, you're going to get a lot less than that. But this is us trying it out. And let's be honest, it happens here today than on one of the main shows that pays the bills and keeps Nick from able to do his, weird stuff like this. So it's been fun. And I do have Nick on the call. So here, Nick, I'm going to put the mic up to you. Go ahead and say bye to the people. Bye, guys. There you go. He said bye, guys. So take care, and we'll be back maybe in 2 weeks, maybe less. Don't know yet. Next time I come back, the song will be out. Nick might be home. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But until then, take care, all. Bye-bye. Okay, bye.